Good morning. Good morning. What's happening, family? Welcome to the show. It is Michelle Bryant here, WNOV, 860 AM, 106.5 FM. You are listening to Say Something Real. Man, I see myself on screen, my forehead shining like new money. Like when your mama greases your face up before you go to school or church. And she be like, wait, let me put this Vaseline on. It's cold outside. So let me say good morning to the bruds in the studio. Have I seen y'all? No, since Christmas.
The day before, wasn't it?
Say what?
Day before.
Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
It's been a minute. Haven't seen you. So let me check in and see how everybody's doing. Because I don't even think I talked to y'all. At all. Why you say with attitude, player? Sound like you got a little Christmas hurt.
Ask me what the lonely do.
So you got a little Christmas hurt going on. But so let me just start with Devo. Hey Devo, how was your holiday, bruh?
Everything was great, Michelle. Quite peaceful. I went by the daughters and
that's right. You didn't have to host.
Yeah, leave when I got ready and
they don't like when you can leave when you get ready.
I was
So
sitting there
did you feel obligated to help with clean up?
I didn't
dishes?
help with nothing. She got this.
Dude, you didn't let me get the question out before you said.
I can tell you right now, I ain't did nothing.
You didn't feel obligated?
Didn't feel no kind of a way.
No ways tied.
That's right.
So
When the kids, I heard some glass break. I didn't move.
So you just ate, lounged
I sat back and ate, drank a couple beers with them. Then I went and got on the lazy boy over there. Put my feet up. And Jackie woke me up and said she was ready to go.
We you left. Up?
Yeah,
you wasn't even a good guest, man.
Eat and go to sleep.
You didn't engage with people, laugh, talk, chit chat.
No.
You just was there, eating their food, drinking their beverages, and sleep.
We didn't eat till after 8 o'clock.
Wait, what?
We didn't eat till after 8 o'clock.
What time was the invite for?
Well, it started out at 3.
That was December 26th.
Then she said, we need to push you back a little bit. So we came at 5. And now here's the kicker. We brought.
This is a typical black people nonsense.
Michelle, I did remember the cabbage and sausage thing that we had talked about?
Oh yes.
Oh,
so I need to get that.
Now these are the dishes we bring in.
Okay.
So I get there. She didn't do the roast like she was supposed to.
Who didn't?
My daughter.
Who?
She didn't do the gumbo like she was supposed to.
What?
Yes. So there was a
like
lot
two
of
main portions.
Disappointment when I walked in the door. I was not in the mood to be chit chatting, as you put it. What did you do?
Oh my God.
I said she had some corn on the cob over there. She did make a pan of dressings. Then they was making the macaroni when I got there. They had to go to the store to get
that. No, come on, man.
We don't have no cheese. How did you plan on having macaroni and cheese?
You was gonna have macaroni.
So needless to tell y'all,
this was
we won't be going back to my daughter's house next year.
Santa Claus.
This was a Christmas.
So to keep exactly. So to keep from going off and acting crazy,
you went to sleep.
I went to sleep. Me and Jackie got in the car. You know what we noticed? I'm serious. The kids that took a basketball and was playing basketball.
Oh my God.
Upstairs, and I heard the glass shatter. I didn't move. But guess what? The lady of the house didn't move either. She didn't move the whole time we were there.
Oh my God.
She got up one time to move my coat out of the chair so somebody to sit down. She sat back at that table and did not move.
My God.
Terrible host. Terrible. Coming from your daddy, I'm telling you. I hope you're listening. Or some of your friends or your grandmama or somebody. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the ability to just come and leave.
Oh my God. There wasn't no roast.
Yeah, brought the cabbage.
No gumbo.
I brought the spiral ham. I bought the remember that.
So what meat did they provide?
I'm trying to think. I don't think there was. Yeah, because I brought the turkey, the ham, the cabbage.
So you was in charge.
Oh my!
I'm always in charge of the meat, man.
Dude, I got a headache.
Yeah, it was different. Let's put it that way. It won't be happening again. Is what it was.
Oh my
And I
God.
wasn't gonna say nothing, but you done got me riled up this morning. I'm gonna call her. I ain't talked to her since Christmas.
Oh, dude, you made my head hurt.
Funny, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
you walk in, it ain't no roast,
God,
it ain't no,
Yeah, all the stuff she committed to.
What did you do?
ain't no cheese
I did
for
ask her
the
that. Well, what did you
for
make?
the
What did
macaroni and cheese. There is no cheese, and man, luckily you found a store open on Christmas
Yeah.
Day
Yeah, well, you know,
to buy some
they
cheese.
said that Pete's was banging.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, Pete's was banging because there was a lot of us
'Cause
last minute.
They know you. The essays know what you black
Yeah,
folks be
yeah.
doing.
Y'all was gonna be eating some seasoned macaroni. With no cheese, it's gonna be seasoned noodles.
Ooh, some pasta salad. It was gonna be pasta salad.
Seasoned noodles.
Okay, you gave me a headache. Jermaine, I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know if you have anything at all that
Yeah.
compares.
Biko text me talking about you and your kids need your own reality show. Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. Wait, and then you sitting there, right?
Oh,
They ain't got nothing going on. You know, the games is on. Ain't no TV in the living room.
Where the TV at?
In her bedroom, so they had to go get the TV out of her room. She got a 65 in her bedroom and nothing in the living room.
oh my
Yeah, Santa
I'm like,
Claus.
what are you
Oh, my
doing? You
God.
gotta play the game or something.
Straight.
Yeah.
And why was she hosted? Why did she?
She was like, I got the room. Oh, this my new house, Dad. She been there about 4 months. I ain't been there yet. I had no idea what I was in for.
Oh,
Yeah, no
Yeah.
TV. So she got the TV in there, and then guess what?
what?
She had no cable. So I had to sign in on my YouTube TV from my phone and stream it to her. Okay, leave me alone. Leave me alone. I got my daughter out there bad.
That's the real hood, Chris. That's the real hood.
Bro, let me
Christmas
tell you right now.
Oh man, that's the real hood.
I would have dropped off my food and went out.
Then my
I would have been
brother,
like, y'all can have it.
my brother, he
Y'all
showed up
can
at
have it.
8:30 with 2 pans of ribs.
8:30.
8:30 with 2 pans of ribs, and they was cold.
Oh,
man.
okay.
Like, what are y'all? I can't
you
do
know
this
what?
no more.
Hood.
Yeah, I would have. Y'all ain't about to tear up my Christmas.
Hood
I would have dropped it all off.
They got that one chance, and then she blew it.
Nah, I would have dropped it all off.
Hood.
Woo, Lord.
No, that's funny.
Okay.
That's funny.
It's the folks at home going,
That's funny.
that still ain't bad as my Christmas.
And I hope nobody had to do what I did.
It is some folks that literally are listening saying, yeah, I could be his story.
Ah,
Jermaine.
Jesus.
Jermaine.
I think nothing compares to that.
Well, you said you visited 6 people
Yeah,
for
but-
Christmas.
But everybody had TVs in the living room that I went to visit. So I was able to sit in the living room and eat and watch the game.
Yeah.
We don't have a TV in the living room.
Are you got TV? Well, at least you didn't have to carry it from the bedroom to the plug it up, then unplug it when everybody else leave and bring it back. In the room.
You know it'd be messed up. But no, we don't. There's no TV in the living room.
Well, I wouldn't know because I
There's-
didn't get an invite for Christmas.
There's you could have just come by.
You know, I don't just pop up like some people.
That sounds like open invitation, man.
So
I mean,
now,
you know, the door is always open for you, Jay. Just like, I mean, just be like Keon. You think Rhoda need no invitation? In fact, you could say, "Hey, don't come."
I'm coming.
And
That means I'm
he
coming.
would send you back a text like, "Who you talking to?" You sent me the wrong text.
Right.
Like,
Wrong person.
yeah. Like, hey, bro, we ain't doing nothing. Don't come through. Well, we ain't gonna be doing nothing together.
Right, us. We ain't doing
Yeah,
nothing.
you're right. We ain't. And the first thing he do, kick them shoes off. That boy had the whitest socks I had ever seen in my life. He would kick them shoes off, the white socks be parked up on your table. He tell me, well, it's like I put a plate down. You ain't dating nobody in this house, player. You better get up. But how was your stuff? You went to 6 houses?
Well,
You was out here with a
yeah,
with a
man, I
doggy
was out-
bag, just going from house to house?
Hey man, I was out here house hopping.
Just determined not to be lonely on
And,
Christmas.
nah,
I like
you
that.
know, because I had to ask myself. I said, self, And then myself said, huh? I said, well, what do the lonely do for Christmas? And then myself responded and said, I don't know, because we ain't lonely.
There you go. I like that.
You know, I said, you know
Don't
what,
claim
self?
that. I like
This
that.
is why I talk to you.
Because you lied to me.
Because there's no one else here. Because there's no one else here. That's one reason why I talk to you.
Because you seem to be the rational one.
This is why I mess
around
with
here.
you right here, self.
You seem to be the rational one out of here. So.
Well,
Right.
no, our Christmas was laid back. It was chill. The boys and their mom was in town watching. You know, it's crazy when you see your nephews walking through and they taller than you.
Oh, yeah.
They was at you the last time they was here.
Yeah.
Now they just straight like 2 inches taller than you,
Yeah.
and the voices is changing.
Yeah.
TT Michelle, like turning around, thinking there's a grown man in the house. And they was eating like grown men. This boy drunk 3 glasses of orange juice back to back.
Oh, he got a lot of body.
3 glasses, half a bottle, brand new orange juice just gone. I'm looking at him like, you ain't had nothing on that though, bro.
You got 5 on it?
You drinking like ownership. You should drink like a guest.
Ownership.
Yeah, you should drink like a guest. You shouldn't drink like you bought it. Because when you bought it, drink 3 glasses back to back. You should drink like a house guest.
You drink like
Michelle, I got a question right quick because
Yeah.
I felt bad upon leaving my daughter's house.
No, you didn't.
You felt bad about what?
Because my wife does something that I don't agree with.
What?
So we bought like a 12 package of Making Me Happy.
Okay, is that some type of beverage?
It's a wine cooler.
Okay, you making me happy.
So
You're
wait.
making me happy.
Jamaica me happy?
Yeah.
Okay, never
So
heard of it. Got
when
you
we
on
were
that.
leaving, my wife goes and takes them out of the refrigerator.
You don't do that.
That's what I-
Why
that's
she
what I-
take? Well, did nobody else drink them?
They were drinking them, but she I guess because there wasn't no roast, there wasn't no gumbo. No, y'all won't be getting this. But no, I don't agree with that. I think when you take stuff.
Why are you trying to put Jackie on Front Street?
Hey,
Man, you out of order.
That
He
is
throw everybody under the bus,
anybody
man.
can get it. Miss
Oh
Anybody
my God!
can
Well,
get
you know
it.
I am of the everybody can get it school.
Right.
I'm totally about that.
Oh, man.
But you out of order for that though. But
No.
yeah, Jackie, that was hood. You don't take your stuff.
No.
Back. You don't take back what you bring. To like, it's one thing people say, didn't nobody really care for that. Okay, then I'm gonna take it home because it's just gonna go to
I'm
waste.
gonna care for it.
Well, yeah, it's just gonna. But
I mean, they
if
had other
people
beverages.
drinking
They had
it-
their own beverages.
Yeah.
They just wanted that because they saw it leaving out the door.
I think some of this hoodness was learned at the house.
Yeah.
No, not at my house.
I think.
Because when you come to my house, you don't really need to bring nothing. I prefer that you don't.
Really?
Yeah, I prefer that you don't.
Mm.
Because then that way, when I put you out, you give me tomorrow. Let me get my stuff back. No, just get out.
When I put you out,
I put folks out. If you don't conduct
puts
yourself
people
properly,
out of their
I
house?
do. My uncle been put out several times.
Get out.
That's all right, man. All right, you know what time it is.
this
It won't be
sounds like the
long.
Bonquisha scenario.
Bonquisha?
Somebody pass the rolls. That's what this sound like.
No, we
Yeah.
do our, and I was so proud of my little cousin. He did the said grace. You know,
Okay.
we all hold hands.
What
around the
time y'all
table.
said grace at 10 a.m.?
That was about
10
8:30.
p.m.
About 8:30.
About 10 o'clock when it was time to go to bed.
And so he said grace and he did a good job.
He did a great job.
Okay.
Tremendous job. It wasn't no like wholesome prayer. Or nothing.
It wasn't wholesome. Well, what was it?
It was a grace.
It was,
A lot of rhyming, you know. Thank you for the food. Thank you for my mama and my
Thank
daddy.
you for the food. Thank you for what you do. And you.
And Bonquisha.
Bonquisha.
you know what?
No, it was good
See,
though. It was good.
Ain't nobody else invite you to nothing. Look, your whole family is listening right now. Like,
I hope they are.
don't invite him. Don't invite this Negro to nothing else. Yeah, you
Hello?
out of order.
I'd like to speak to
listen-
Bonquisha.
She was there.
Somebody said, "Don't tell me she took it home."
Yes, she did. I put it in the refrigerator yesterday.
This is bad on so many
Oh,
levels.
man.
You know what? I almost hate that I asked about
Yeah.
how was it. I wasn't
well,
expecting all.
No, he took the cake.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, he took the cake.
and I'm trying to think of the saddest Christmases or the funniest Christmases I've ever had.
This gotta go down.
But you guys have to realize something.
compares.
It doesn't. I'm not sensitive like that to where I would have just been thrown off. I knew ahead of time what I could be
Well, you
walking
know your
into.
kid.
I mean, but
I mean, no, you know
man,
your
how
kid.
you tell me I got a roast coming and some gumbo in the end?
Well,
she-
he knew it wasn't gonna be there anyway because he know his kid.
Because you got to do
No,
nothing but season the roast and put it in there.
she's usually the responsible one.
Oh,
But this time she fooled me.
Well, maybe because with the new house, it was a stress of hosting for the first
No,
time.
because she could have easily said, Dad, just like we told her what we were going to bring. She said, well, I really would like to have a roast. Because I run across, a 5-finger discount meats and stuff. I run across that kind of stuff. And
oh, the Costco truck. Did you hear about that?
No, I didn't.
Let me see.
I missed it.
Yeah, bro. Somebody came up this morning.
I'd like to speak to Bone Quisha.
Hang on, where is it? $400,000 worth of lobster was stolen en route to Costco stores.
No, it wasn't none of me.
400,000. The people that were shipping it out said that there were folks that were dressed in the company's uniforms, like they were real employees, and got away with taking all of the stuff. The lobster was on its way to Illinois and Minnesota, and literally.
What, they hijacked the truck, or how did you get $400,000 worth of lobster?
So they said, let me see how, because I just remember them saying that they put on the uniforms like they were employees, but they said the theft isn't random. It followed a pattern where we're seeing more and more where criminals impersonate legitimate carriers using spoofed emails and burner phones to hijack high-value freight while it's in transit. So they were impersonating a legitimate carrier and stole this food. Lobsters.
So they went to the facility, got the product or what have you, and they was like totally fake.
And they had created all fake credentials.
Yeah.
But that sound like inside plug, like this is when the truck is leaving.
Well, so it is, because who else would know to do that?
Who else would know that type of stuff?
But the way they explained it there with fake emails and all of that stuff, it didn't have to be nobody inside.
No, because you would have to know what time the truck is actually pulling out.
Well, they think they're dealing with their carrier.
I get it, but again, you would have to
know. You understand what I'm saying, Michelle?
Yeah, but you would have to know the time.
I'm saying it. If you
take it from a criminal background, man, you would have to know.
Let's not bring out our bona fides. But saying
you would have to know.
Done it before.
The time, you would have to know the time when they pulling out.
I know this because of the correspondence of the fake emails that I've been sending. I know this, so it doesn't mean that the person on the other end knows that I'm not legit.
No, but what I'm saying is,
I'm gonna let you win today.
Oh no, hold on.
So what you're saying is that at least one person,
it would have to be
in this organization
has connections.
Because how do you know again when the trucks are leaving?
Right, because you don't want to go in blindsided when you're dealing with that amount of product or money or whatever.
I mean, there's some coordination for sure, because you think about the size. I don't know what $400,000 worth of lobster looks like in terms of, and we're gonna stop. You ain't got to vouch. You ain't got to vouch for yourself in that way. There are other ways to prove you know what you're talking about. Somebody said Trump was still in it for the grand opening of the ballroom. Trump, he don't like to pay. He was.
Go get the trucks.
Good morning, Shelby. Hey, Dion. It's a shame when constituents of the country believe that the president is not above stealing lobster. Trucks of lobster. What does that say about the condition that we are in? All right, y'all. Look, I gotta take a break, but when we come back, today is the 4th day of Kwanzaa. I'm gonna take a moment and just speak to that, because I just gotta tell people, look, don't be out here playing like you know what you doing with Kwanzaa. People lighting the candles all wrong. Don't understand that there is an order to this thing. Everything is symbolic and means something. I appreciate it when Claymore Benson, they offered a class. There was actually a class on how to do Kwanzaa. And it's a whole bunch of people be out here ashaying and hey-haying and don't know what the hell they doing. So stop fake jaking like y'all do Kwanzaa. Because I'm just saying, because it's many people just be like me. Just go to the ceremony that is done over at the Wisconsin Black Historical Society. Because I ain't got to set up in my house, because I'll do it for real. I got the books. Now I could do it. I know what I'm supposed to do. But you know, cats want to step out and act like they know what they doing. And you out here lighting the wrong damn candles.
Got people following you lighting the wrong damn candles.
Burning up stuff ain't supposed to be burnt up. But you know.
He said like this one, so I thought I was going to do the one next to it.
I came in the studio like, what the hell is going on?
I'm not showing that again.
So we're going to take a second.
So what is today? Is today Nia?
See, again, we're going to take a day.
Is today Nia?
You got, there you go the board right there. So what's today? He counting. Today's the 4th day. It's not you, John. Today is the 4th day. Go on down.
2, 3, 4.
You know, you did. You go back up, Debo.
1,
Yeah.
2,
Yeah.
3,
Right.
4.
Right. There you go. You kept skipping Kujigialaka.
Kujigialea.
Yeah, I can't never get it out. You skipped that one. Because it wasn't colored. See, because the Umoja and Ujima all is colored.
Wait a minute.
So his eyes.
So it's kind of like a run-on.
Yeah.
It looks like a run-on.
So
Right.
So he probably thought by.
No, he ain't thought nothing.
Yeah.
Because the first candle that was supposed to be burnt was the black candle. So you ain't thought nothing.
Yeah.
You out here fake jacking like you know what you doing. That's what happened. Yeah, Ashe.
What happened to that break you were talking about?
Look, don't be trying to get me off people because I'm sure I'm gonna do it when I come back. But I will say, I respect the attempts. I appreciate that is valued, but don't go live in prime time if you don't understand all of the rules. I'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. So before I do the Kwanzaa piece, I do a couple things. Somebody hit me up and thank you, sis, that sent me the information and said, Michelle, Guy Fieri had the same thing happen. So Guy Fieri talked about that in 2024, he had $1 million worth of his tequila stolen, involved in a hijacking of trucks, fake logistics. So it said 2 truckloads, 24,000 bottles of Santo tequila vanished en route from Laredo, Texas to Pennsylvania. 24,000 bottles of tequila vanished. The thieves used a complex scheme involving GPS spoofing, fake trucking companies with forged documents, and deceptive driver communications to divert the trucks. The value over $1 million. And they said that there was this one special brand in the tequila that actually takes years to produce. So, like some premium stuff in there. One truck was recovered in LA, but the other and the perpetrators remain missing. Fieri did offer an award. Nothing has happened. And then also, this was years and years ago, back in 2011, Fieri's yellow Lamborghini was stolen from a San Francisco dealership where it was being repaired. And so dude is like, yeah, I done had some high profile thefts. But to think about the coordination to be able to steal 2 semis, 24,000 bottles of tequila. Just think about that. Yeah, I mean, come on, you doing the most. And since I'm on alcohol, while I'm thinking about it, one second, let me just mention this for folks that pay attention to kind of what's going on in the alcohol industry. Jim Beam announced that they were halting production because of everything that's going on financially in the country, whether it is tariffs or whatever. The bourbon maker has said, "Hey, we struggling right now, and we gonna stop running these lines." So let me just.
So the product is still going to be available, but they're not producing it.
Exactly. So they said that they're halting production at one of its distilleries in Kentucky for at least a year as the whiskey industry navigates tariffs from the Trump administration and the slumping demand for a product that needs years of aging before it's ready. So back to that whole thing I said about the tequila. Jim Beam said the decision to pause bourbon making at its Claremont location in 2026 will give the company time to invest in improvements at the distillery, blah, blah, blah. The company's distillery in Boston, the company's larger distillery in Boston will continue to operate, the company said. But like when I drive home and I take 65, I'm going to see the signs for Jim Beam coming through Kentucky every time, and so it is so crazy. These are iconic brands that are struggling, and people not realizing when you cast a vote or didn't cast a vote, the long-term impacts of those votes, because many of the tariffs that were put in place were willy-nilly, thinking about the grace that was offered, silly, I'm trying to come up with some other words to rhyme, but unnecessary on so many levels. Somebody said Canada stop selling us bourbon. Okay, I'll pull that up. Thanks for letting me know. So there are businesses that have been wholesale impacted. Some have gone out of business. We're still looking to see how the farming industry, agricultural sector is going to land, now that there's this infusion of dollars to try to help people. But some people had already lost the farm, like literally foreclosed and lost the farm because of tariffs, because of the attack on migrant workers, immigrant workers. Who's running these farms? Everyday considerations that just weren't thought about when, Trump just takes a wrecking ball to the way we do business in this country. So I just wanted to mention that because I was thinking about that when we were talking about the thefts. let me also mention something else real quick before I do Kwanzaa. In fact, I may push Kwanzaa to the end. But let me also talk about this. We were talking about, as we are preparing for New Year's, the amount of gunshots. People were saying, I stay out the way. I stay home. I try to make sure that, we're going to be safe and make it into 2026. Did y'all see the story out of Oklahoma about this guy bought himself a gun for Christmas? And he went out in his backyard and supposedly he was firing at a Red Bull can. At some point, and I guess the weather must have been decent, warm in Oklahoma for Christmas. So there were a group of family members sitting on a porch that was in direct line of sight where this guy was shooting at. But they were sitting on the porch, and there was a woman sitting, and she had a child in her right arm. It was either one arm or the other. She had a child in her arm. And they heard the shooting. And the woman said, somebody must have got a new gun for Christmas. And then there's more shots fired. And the woman's arm that is free, that is not holding the child, she says, ouch. And then she slumps over and she dies. So they're trying to figure out who shot her. So police get called. They going through the area. They eventually make it to this guy's house because neighbors are saying, yeah, we heard gunshots. We believe it was coming from over here. Police get to that home. And the guy says, yeah, I was out in my backyard. I just bought a gun for myself for Christmas. I'm shooting at Red Bull cans. At some point, you stop shooting at that can. And you aimed up higher. And so the sheriff said that when they were in the backyard with him, asking him to show them where he was shooting, they could see direct line to the woman's house. And they could still see the EMS workers and the red lights from the first responders. They said, yeah, you shot her. So now this cat has just been charged with manslaughter. Now he's out on $100,000 bond, but he just got shot. Just got charged with manslaughter. You literally, and the police said, like, you didn't put up any kind of barrier to make sure that those bullets wasn't flying, out of control, losing sight of where these bullets are going. They found the spent shell casings in the yard, but he didn't kill this woman. And you could have killed his baby.
But ain't it illegal to use your backyard as a shooting range?
I don't know what they do in Oklahoma.
Oh, okay.
I got to be honest. These laws vary from state to state, and I have no idea what they do in Oklahoma. So that's the one thing I just wanted to bring up, because we know people who will go outside under the guise of celebrating New Year's and start shooting
in the air.
But you don't know where these bullets go,
right.
What happens to make these bullets ricochet. You just don't know.
See, I remember a story. It was one New Year Eve celebration that guys was out shooting in the air, and one of the bullets came down and hit somebody on the top of their head. They were shooting in the air, and the bullet came down and hit them on the top of their head, and they died from shooting in the air.
See, that's crazy.
Yeah, because the bullets have to come down.
They travel.
They
period.
So if they go up, they gonna come down at speed.
So, and somebody just texted me and they was like, well, Michelle, what happened if she got shot in the arm? How did she end up dying? Because they said the bullet traveled into her chest.
Yeah.
So it didn't stop at her arm.
And
it entered her arm.
If it was a smaller type gun, like the 22s and, stuff like that, the once them bullets hit you, it travels through your body.
Right. And so this woman, her name was Sandra Phelps, and this was in what part of Oklahoma? Comanche. Oklahoma. And so he's been arrested, and just like, but the fact that she heard the gunshots and chuckled and said somebody must have got a new gun for Christmas, and minutes later she would be dead from that gun with a child sitting in her arm. And they said there was another child in a stroller sitting directly in front of her. So you got all these people out here who literally could have been impacted by what this guy did. So they said, yeah, the bullet hit her upper right arm and then entered her chest cavity below the armpit. And so, it was like, yeah, she died instantly. So it's something to think about as, people are out here doing whatever they think they should be doing by way of celebration. And I'll talk more about it on the New Year's Eve show, but just to be responsible.
So I wanna ask you this. Do anybody know where that came from? Like the whole, using your gun to celebrate and shoot in the air and all that stuff? Because, it's been years of this stuff, but, we know that it's been passed down through generations as well. So, what was the purpose of that? Is it a celebration of being free from something? Is it?
So this is what, and it's funny, and I'm glad. Thank you for being somebody that is thoughtful and inquisitive.
I figured
because I remember answering this question years ago. So, and I just pulled it back up. So gunfire became a New Year's tradition from European customs, especially German customs, where loud noises like shooting guns or firecrackers were used to scare away evil spirits and bad luck for the coming new year. It was a practice brought to America by immigrants and evolving from older rituals involving noise to ward off negativity alongside the use of gunpowder in celebrations. So that is actually how it started. These were customs that were done in other countries, and the immigrants, when they moved to the U.S., they brought those customs with them. But the idea of, as we go into, and everybody had something that they did, and I actually will take, that's an interesting thing to do for New Year's Eve. All the different customs that people employ to get ready for 2026. I know I was just watching the news, and the same folks who put on the big New Year's Eve, bash in New York every year, they have this new thing that they've been doing for a while where people come, they write down what it is they want to get rid of for 2025, and then they tear it up and get ready to bring in a new year. So folks have all these traditions, and a lot of people are talking about how do you ward off evil, how do you get rid of bad spirits, how do you not take negative energy with you into 2026. So that's where it comes from. So I'm glad you asked that question, because I haven't brought that up or thought about that in a long time. And it was actually a young person, a young teenager, who asked me about that, because they talked about all the shooting in their neighborhood, and she thought it was stupid and wanted to know why people did it.
So if the Europeans brought it over here, how did it get to us? It's the question.
Because we're all here. We're all living in the same communities.
But I'm saying, why did blacks, get a hold of that? Because, just from the stuff that I've been seeing over the years.
Okay. If you are enslaved and this is going on as a form of celebration,
you see it.
How many things did we carry forward from slavery?
Yeah. Okay.
And they are a staple now in our culture. It's not our stuff.
It makes generations been passed down.
You watch it. Yeah. You watch it happening. Yeah. You do what you see. You do what you saw. Yeah. And so, so just real quickly,
because it sounds like a war zone out there.
They said the German immigrants brought these traditions to America, influencing customs like the Pennsylvania Dutch shooting among trees for a good harvest. For Christmas and New Year, it emerged from broader European winter celebrations, including those during the 12 days of Christmas, where noisemakers and gunfire were common. And then the practice is deeply rooted in the belief that loud noises drive away evil spirits and demons, a concept found in various cultures, particularly German traditions like shooting of witches. So we pick up other folks' stuff. We do become not a melting pot. We don't say that anymore, but you pick up the different things from other cultures, and it becomes our own traditions. So I just wanted to mention that. And thank you for asking. All right. So, and I'm struggling. I gotta go get my glass. My glasses are loose, so they keep falling on the bridge of my nose.
Oh yeah.
So that pressure.
Yeah.
And it's something so crazy, something so light, because these are not heavy glasses.
Yeah.
But sitting on the bridge of my nose in the wrong spot, it contributes to me not being able to breathe too.
Yeah. Because
So
right
it's
there.
like right there, it's
Yeah.
messing me up. So if y'all hear me, I don't have a cold. I gotta go get my glasses tightened up.
Need a new nose.
So let me do this too. And I said I was gonna bring this to y'all. It's a couple things I said I was gonna bring. First of all, if you are all, it's some people like Keisha and them, teachers, they off through after the New Year's. If you got time and you have not seen Sarah's Oil,
I need to see that.
Sarah's Oil, the movie about the 11-year-old child named Sarah Rector, African American little girl. Her grandparents, one of her grandparents was Native American or indigenous, I should say, and left her
There was some land.
some major land.
Oh, I think I heard about that.
And she ends up, and I'm just pulling it up real quick. So she's left this land, and she ends up finding out that there is oil on the land. And they show all of the different things that happen as white people in the community learn that there's land, and it's left specifically to her. So even though she has parents, it's not left to her parents, it's left to her. So, you know, how white people try to become her guardian and usurp her parents' authority so that they can in turn sell away the rights to the land. And some people just showed up with guns trying to kill her, just gonna take the land outright. They weren't going through the court process at all. We're just gonna take the land. And it was interesting because the NAACP was a part of this situation. They're brought in by a white woman who has been advocating for the rights of these families, particularly children who have inherited this land. And so I have to go do research now, because one of the things that came up is the number of indigenous children, Native American children, who were killed after white people became their guardians and took their land from them and then just killed them. And so this young lady, crazy smart, stupid smart. They talk about Rockefeller ends up once they are able to secure the property rights for her, Rockefeller ends up calling her and getting the meeting and talking about the Standard Oil Company. And so it is just an interesting thing though, because the fact that they made her an honorary white person. So when we talk about race and race being a social construct that was created just to put hierarchies in place, she was so rich. They made her an honorary white person because places that she legally couldn't go, she was able to go because her money was such. And so if you have not seen this story, and I don't know what streaming service it's on, we watched it though. I've watched it twice now because it was so crazy. And I just want to say, Sarah Rector went to Tuskegee University.
So in that movie, they was trying to get the deed to the land, wasn't it?
Yep. Like I said, in some cases, they was going after the deed. Like this one guy who owned a lot of the town was going after the deed to the land. But in other cases, they just was outright going to just kill her and try to just squat her. Yeah, and just it's our land now. And so it was the craziest thing ever. And at the end of the day, she still ended up being cheated out of a lot of the money, but she still had plenty. Her family still has money. But she had 5 siblings, and she was the grandchild of Creek Indians before the Civil War. So when everything ends, the ancestors become members of the Muskogee Creek Nation after the Treaty of 1866. We all studied the Treaty of 1866 in school, and you realize that they were descendants listed as freedmen, and the Dawes rolls, D-A-W-E-S. They were entitled to land allotments under the Treaty of 1866, made between the U.S. government with 5 what they call civilized tribes. And because these tribes had allied with the Confederacy, the U.S. required new treaties by which their enslaved people were freed and became citizens of these nations. So this little girl was a citizen of this nation. That's how she was. And and I'm coming to the phone, but there's one scene when the white men that was ignorant, that was just gonna steal the land, came on the land looking for her so they could kill her. But they came on tribal land. And they show all of the indigenous men just sitting around chilling. And the white guys is like, look, we just want the girl. And they never said a word. They just looking at her. And then they left. But then they started like trying to search around on the land themselves. And they ended up finding her and her little brother. Because her mother had sent them deep in the woods to hide. They ended up finding her. They had the gun locked on her. The indigenous men showed up and they was law enforcement on tribal lands. Hey, player, you on tribal lands. You are under arrest for attempted murder, blah, blah, blah. That's why I be telling people. And I literally said it when I was watching it. For folks who don't understand the significance and the importance of allies, they didn't give her up. And when they had found her, was about to kill her, these indigenous men came in and locked it down. Boy, I was screaming at home. I was like, see, that's what I'm saying. Okay. Let me go to the phone line. Hey, Carl, what you say? Go ahead on Indigenous Brothers. That's right. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Greetings, Sabaragani, everybody.
Greetings.
In the Swahili words, Sabaragani for today's principle. Today's principle is Ujamaa, cooperative economics.
Yeah, because a lot of Black folks say Ujima because of the way we used to pronounce the letter U. So go ahead. I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, Ujima was just like collective work and responsibility.
Right.
Ujamaa.
Right.
Ujamaa. Yeah. In the Swahili word, it feels a connection to us working together. I only heard you talk about a little bit of Sarah Reckner, which to me is a wonderful story. As much as I love history, I didn't know nothing about her until the movie. Hold on one moment. Let me turn this radio off. I'm actually shopping Steven. That might be better now. Okay. Until I seen the movie. And so I was, I had to see the movie. It's on Apple streaming.
Okay. Yeah, I couldn't figure out. I didn't know which device we was looking at it on, but okay.
Yeah. It's on Apple. So it's on Apple streaming. And the thing that's interesting is that she used to be, or her family used to be enslaved by the native indigenous community. So the movie don't really show that they were enslaved by these indigenous peoples. And when Europeans in Oklahoma fought the Indians and won, ironically, they forced them to end enslavement of people. That's interesting. Europeans stopping people from.
But it was again because of them engaging in the Civil War. It's a whole history that we need to break down. Like I said, and I mentioned the Treaty of 1866 and how all of this is intertwined.
And so the reason it's intertwined is that after they beat them, they realized, okay, this is their land. So they decided to give all the indigenous people some land, which was roughly, as the movie discussed, is 160 acres. And they consider her not a U.S. citizen, her family, and her as being a child at 11, not being a citizen of America. So while we, looking at today and how does this relate, we need to think about those things of what makes a person a citizen or not. But they identify her as an indigenous person. And so, and her family, so that's how they all got land. Now, the thing that also the movie doesn't tell, because I don't want to tell the movie, I think all of us should watch it. I'm not a big fan of movies, this magical Negro movies where you helping white folks, but be cautious of that. I mean, I know it's, it's just, well, anyway, they made a law where Black children were not able to operate these lands where they found all this oil. And it just so happened that her land had a lot of oil. And what we don't understand today is that at that time, oil production wasn't a national, like, big thing. The Model T, which is the first commercial combustion engine car, came out in 1908. So we're talking about 1913. So it wasn't a big thing. And they thought they gave these people just messed up land because at that time, America was agriculture. So they made a law that only a white man could be over the land that Black children or colored children was incompetent. And so essentially, when we wonder, like, why we know about Madam C.J. Walker or her partner that, you know, were some of the first millionaires, why we don't know about this little girl that had tens of millions, not just a couple million, tens of millions, because white people took 7/8 of her wealth.
Right.
She only got 1/8 of her wealth. And we don't know about her because I listened to her family, and they just sound like just like our family members do, where they hardly don't know none of the history. And where's all that wealth at? Is that at the time, and the movie does show it, but it don't deal with the true impact. That at that time, white people were suffering coming out of World War I, going in and doing that whole situation. And so they were hungry for money, and they were kidnapping people. And at that time, you could kill somebody and just fraudulent make their deed. The same way now, Michelle, I could go ahead and get a quick claim deed, get your address, and I could file it with the register.
Right.
There is no policing or any function that says, hey, wait a minute. She didn't agree to that. That's fraudulent. And the only way that it becomes fraudulent is that you will have to know about it. But I can clearly say, hey, this is my property when I go deal with the legal instrument and show it's at the register of deeds with my name on it. Because all they do is file it. That's a whole nother issue of today. But anyway, what I want to say with the sister is that's one reason why her story is hidden, is because she had to hide, even though she spent a lot of money. She had to be concerned about her family. When she went to Tuskegee as a young girl, they had a 24-hour watch on her.
Right. Because
she was considered being richer than the president. Each month she got more money than the president of the United States. And who was the president? Woodrow Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he was the person that showed Birth of a Nation, the Klan movie at the White House. So while people upset, Trump is, got Elon Musk cars at the White House. Well, he was way, in my estimation, worse than what we're seeing today and that's a whole nother subject matter as well, on how Black people supported him. Not in a vast majority, but more than what people thought at that time. So we got very interesting voting habits throughout history we need to look at. But the main thing is that she had to hide her wealth, even though she had it. And because she didn't have the 7/8 of her wealth, she was being paid by white enslavers and ripoffs. What they did is just give her a little bit of change just so she can spend, and she ended up moving to Kansas and buying up the block to be insulated around Black free people that would help protect her and her new family at the time. But it also is the Depression. So seeing that she didn't have her full wealth, it appears in my studies that the Depression hit her because her family talked about all the land she had to sell after the Depression.
Yeah, she did lose a lot of her wealth during the Depression. She still was doing way better than everybody else, but she lost a great percentage of her wealth during the Great Depression. Absolutely.
And that's probably because she had lines of credit because she was known to be one of the richest people in the world, as you said. So that means that she could buy whatever she wanted to on credit because they wanted her money. And then, of course, the depression comes, and anybody that has lines of credit, you need to pay us right away. Well, she can't pay right away because the white people got 7/8 of her wealth locked up, and at that time, the NAACP, the movie does show that, and Du Bois took up her cause as the Kansas City Library document, and they actually sought to fight for black children, reinforcing the whole brownies and the whole concept that we need to be looking out for our children. And this is an example where her wealth can help us build our wealth. I appreciate y'all for this time.
No, thank you, bro. I appreciate you. And one thing I'll just say before I go to break, that there are so many movies that I have been watching and books that I've been reading lately that have talked about the role of the NAACP and how the NAACP started the children's department of the NAACP because of Sarah Rector, and how you think about all of these cases in which the NAACP is coming through, and these folks are putting their life on the line to be able to defend our rights. And then I think about like the NAACP today and the strength of the NAACP when we have more money as Black people to be able to help fund the organization. We have more resources. We should have more, but in so many cases, the NAACP is nowhere near as strong as they could or should be in relationship to some of these local fights, just because we don't understand the jewel that the NAACP has been in this nation and in our fight for civil rights and for basic freedoms. Let me take a break. But thank you, Brother Shiar. Always a lot of information. We'll be right back, y'all. All right, family, welcome back to the show. Let me switch gears for just a sec. And I am going to get to Kwanzaa, but I'm looking, what was his name? There was a story in the Journal Sentinel today that talked about Kohls department store. And they mentioned that the CEO has been fired. Okay. And hang on one second because I just want to make sure I'm correct. The person that was over at Kohls, a brother by the name of Michael Bender. Okay. And he had just been appointed the permanent CEO of Kohls in November 2025 after he had been serving as the interim CEO since May of 2025. So I'm in the journal, and I remember, people were sending me pictures like, Michelle, you see, they hired a brother to be the CEO of Kohls. And so one of the things I said is, well, that means that Kohls is on his way out. Kohls is on his way down. Kohls is in trouble because I'm sorry. This is a long heard cliche or something like that in our community. But by the time Black folks get to run something, it's toe up. It's in trouble. It's failing. The house is on fire. Barack Obama becomes president of the United States when the United States is in grave financial trouble. Housing industry, toe up from the flow up. Banking industry, caving in. Auto industry, we about to lose the big three. I mean, like literally, if these people ever tell the truth about what Barack Obama was facing when he became president of the United States, you had all of these major industries, flagship companies in this country that were in trouble. Okay. But he becomes president. We look at cities. When they finally are able to get a Black person in to be the mayor of a city, it's because they done tore the city up. They done ran it in the ground. The fiscal mismanagement, whatever you want to say, by the time we come to the table, it's usually in crisis. And oftentimes we do a great job of getting us out of crisis. And then what did Barack Obama say? I get the car out the ditch that y'all ran in the ditch. I get it back up on the road. And then you come walking by and want the keys back to the car. I'll never forget that analogy that he used. You run the car in the ditch. I bring it out. Then you want to stand up on the side, not only asking for the keys, but you want credit for me getting it out of the ditch in the first place. So when I saw that Michael Bender had been appointed president of Kohls, and this is Kohls department stores, I'm like, yeah, they about to go under. This company is in trouble. He has been fired. He has been fired. His predecessor was fired. I don't know what's going on at Kohls. This brother had 30 years of experience, including roles at Walmart, Victoria's Secrets, where he was senior level management. But if you go to the Journal Sentinel today, they said that he has been fired after 4 months in the role as its new CEO. And so they said that they had a board member who quit and ripped the company on the way out after he was fired. But bottom line, this company is struggling. One of the things that we see is that a lot of brick and mortar stores continue to be in trouble. For those of you who shopped this year, how many of you went to actual stores to shop? How many shopped online? How many people the bulk of your gifts was done online. You know, I'm a person, I like to go in the store, I like to touch, I like to feel, I like to look at. I just think that you see things when you go in the store that you don't always see online. But when I got ready to ship it, you know, my son, he gets on me all the time, like, Mom, just buy the mess on Amazon. You got Prime, your shipping is free most of the time because you paying $50 and $60 to mail a box. I think the cheapest box I mailed for Christmas this year was like $25. So by the time you do it, but I'm going to go in a brick and mortar. I just like to. Kohls has announced that they have closed 27 stores in 15 states and that's what they will be doing in January. None of the stores are in Wisconsin, but they're cutting 400 positions at the corporate headquarters in Menominee Falls. That's going to happen in January. The positions, many of them are already unfilled, but there are going to be about 200 employees that end up losing their jobs. And you have to ask all of these different questions about what is going on with this store. This has been a flagship store in the state of Wisconsin for years. So you fired the CEO, the white guy, Ashley Buchanan, who was there. Now you firing the person that came after him. Like, it's just been a hot mess. But I keep wondering how much of this is related to the current trends that we are on, that you will not see as many people in these malls, in these stores, when I can do all my shopping on my cell phone. Press, and everything is shipped, and all I got to do is get the box off my front porch. I don't know if we will ever see some of these companies rebound or be okay. So since we're talking about that, now let me roll into this whole piece about Kwanzaa. There are so many folks that respect what was being done when Dr. Malana Karanga, back in the 60s, created Kwanzaa. Again, this brother was a professor of African American Studies in California State, and this was coming off of the Watts riots, okay? It was intended to help the Black community heal, reconnect with one another, reconnect with their cultural roots, and to promote unity and self-determination within the community. The idea that we have to help ourselves, we have to save ourselves. What is that whole thing people say? No one's coming to save us. We have to do this for ourselves. That's the moment that we feel like we are in right now. I was listening to CNN and they did the top 10 stories of 2025. I think number 4 or 5 was the Target strike and the impact that Black consumers, even though they didn't frame it that way, but that was, they showed Jamal Bryant talking, they talked about DEI, but the fact that Black consumers staying out of Target forces 9% drop in their value. CEO ultimately, has to come up out of there because of them walking away from commitments they made about helping to support and promote Black businesses and giving Black people opportunities at management roles. And Target has had a raggedy track record on some of these things. So that whole idea about doing for self, helping your own, became very important after we come off the Watts riots. The name Kwanzaa is Swahili or Swahili phrase. And the phrase, and I'm going to butcher it, but it's Matunda ya Kwanzaa, which means first fruits. It is modeled after traditional African harvest festivals, and it talks about communal values, okay? So, Brother Shiar, when he called in, he mentioned today's principle, but there are 7. And Umoja, unity; Kujajakalia, self-determination; Ujima, collective work and responsibility; Ujama, today, cooperative economics; Nia, purpose; Kumba, creativity; Imani, faith. Okay? Cooperative economics, though, and why that is so important. We're gonna have that conversation. But the first thing I want to say, I appreciated that there have been classes offered on Kwanzaa, how to celebrate it, how to understand it. At the very least, the most simple thing, we know that there is a kanar, that's that candle holder, that's used in the process. And that this candle holder, or this kanar, holds 7 candles, 1 black, 3 green, and 3 red candles, okay? That black candle is supposed to be placed in the center, not for cosmetics, but for a reason. It is the first candle you light when you are doing a Kwanzaa ceremony. The black candle in the center, first candle that gets lit. And then you alternate from left to right on every day that follows for those next 6 days, lighting those candles. So if you got that black candle in the center, and you look at the layout, that next candle that you light will be red. Then you'll alternate to the other side and light green. You alternate back and right, left and right, red, light red, back and forth until you've done the remaining 6 days. It is important to understand that that's how that goes, that there is an order and a significance in what you are doing. And the red candle, that day 2, Kujajakalia, the red candle. And this is the thing. When you're lighting these candles, you're lighting them every day. So day 1, you only lighting the black candle. Day 2, you'll light that black candle again first, and then you'll light the far left red candle for Kujajakalia. Day 3, you light the black candle, then you are doing the far left and then the far right. Because at some point, all 7 of those candles are lit by day 7. So each day, you're adding a candle that's being lit. So it's not just I lit the black candle today, tomorrow I'm only going to light the candle for Kujajakalia. No, that's not how that goes. There is a process. By day 7, you will light all of those candles. The symbolism, black candle stands for the people. That's obvious. The red, the black, and the green. The red is the struggle, the blood, and the sacrifice. And the green represents the future, hope, and land. One of the things you hear black folks say all the time. That's why that 40 acres and a mule became so important. Land is power. You can leverage land to do just about anything you need to do if you have enough of it. Land is power. So that's why those colors, red, black, and green, are employed and engaged. But if you're going to do this, and I'm going to tell you, I don't practice Kwanzaa at home. I understand it on most levels, but I've never really done it at home. I've always gone to the celebrations. I know what the days represent. I try to act on those days as those days occur. But I just encourage people, if you're going to do it, don't play with it. Learn how this thing goes and the reason for it and why it's important to people in our community, and do it right, man. Just do it right. You know, it's so much of our stuff we play with. We half behind do it. If you're going to do it right. And learn the process and learn what you're supposed to do in terms of the ceremonial aspects of it. And what's supposed to be out, what's supposed to be a part of it, how gifts are supposed to be created and made. Just do it right. That's all I'm saying. That's why I don't do it at home. Because I ain't doing all of that. I'm just not. And I know me. Not because I don't think it's important, but I just know me. But Kwanzaa is important. I respect it enough not to play with it. Okay. Somebody said, I have a Canard and candles too. It's in the garage. I need to get it out. That's what I'm saying. You know, it's a whole lot of us value it and understand it. We just don't necessarily know how to do it right. Let me take a break, y'all. Michelle Bryant, WNOV, 860 AM, 106.5 FM. I'll be right back. All right, family, welcome back to the show. So, taking a second, talking about Kwanzaa and the principles. And today, December 29th, UJAMA or UJAMA, cooperative economics to build and maintain our own stores, shops, and other businesses, and to profit from them together. So, with that being said, we know the numbers. Black folks spend 1.7 to over $2 trillion a year in terms of their economic spending power. 1.7 to $2 trillion annually is what we spend. When you go and think about our businesses, because that means we're spending money with other folks, other businesses, some with our own, but let's figure this out for a second. So if we're spending that kind of bread, okay, 1.7 to over $2 trillion annually, trillion with the T, annually, how many Black-owned businesses are there in the United States that employ Black folks? Pew Research Center back in February did a study. They said roughly about 3.3% of all businesses that are registered, legit businesses, I ain't talking about your uncle's shade, mechanic company where you just pay him cash and he fix your car on the side, registered businesses, we comprise 3.3% of all businesses in the United States. So we are roughly 14% of the US population, but we only have about 3% of the businesses in this country. The Asian community has about 12% of businesses that they own in this country. So that's one of the things that we gotta get in order is all of our money goes to everybody else. We clearly have money. You can't say people spending $1.7 trillion. Everybody broke, but collectively, we got money. And we making everybody else rich or comfortable or okay. The thing that also stood out is what we talk about, we've heard it a million times, how the Black dollar recycles in our community. I think some of the data I've heard, $1 in our community can stay in our community for 6 hours, whereas in other community, it stays in that community for days, 6 days, 18 days, for days. So, we can talk about the need for cooperative economics, but what do we do to ensure that we able to play in this game? I had a person who helped me during my push to get some toys for these children at the last minute that we had got a call about, okay? One of the things that person said to me is, Michelle, I'll get called on to help, but it's so many people in our community don't do business with me. They're not spending no money here. They're not making sure these doors stay open. They're not doing none of that. And that is the question as we go into New Year's and we go into the New Year 2026 that I have to ask again and again. And I have to ask myself this. How much of my money am I intentional with in spending with Black folks, with Black-owned businesses? Because people will go and buy red bottom shoes, and they will go and they will have a dinner that costs, $200-$300, even if it's just a shrimp boil or whatever them things is, they've $75. We went to the Asian place and spent $60 a plate over there to eat. And variety, diversity, all of that's wonderful. You're supposed to experience all those things. But when I think about the way the NAACP was able to come in and help a Sarah Rector, or to advocate for Emmett Till's mother, or to work with a King, or all the places that they show up, Medgar Evers, voter registration, it's because there were Black folks putting dollars behind these organizations. They didn't have to just rely on white philanthropy to survive and to be able to succeed and to be able to keep the doors open and do the work. Black people were very intentional. Now, some of it was forced because of segregation. White folks didn't want your money. I mean, we'll take it if we just had to. But no, you can't dine in here. You can't come to this movie theater. You can't live in this community. You can't shop here. So on one hand, Black businesses were able to thrive because it was forced because of segregation. Call us, here I come. But to be intentional, what did I say? I say it all the time, and I say it jokingly, but I mean it to my core, that when I die, that will be my last act of physically spending money. Now, I'm not talking about money that, you leave to your kids and they get to, because they're going to do what they want to. And I can create some scholarships or whatever in my name. But my last conscious act of spending money that I control is who buries me. And I jokingly talk about that the last dollar I spend, I'd be damned if I don't spend it with a Black person. Whether that's the funeral home, a lot of Black folks don't own cemeteries. I get that part. I'm not going to be, buried in the cemetery anyway. I want to be cremated. But, somebody, Clark is in here. He said, is it a Black floral shop? Is it this? Is it this? Some of my money, because I realize that all the services connected to me dying may not be covered because there may not be Black companies that do all those things. But I'd be damned if somebody Black don't get my last dollar or a portion of my last dollar. That's intentional and deliberate. As I was making Christmas purchases, though, I made sure that I bought from Black vendors. I ordered things online from Black companies all over the country. Like one I'm still waiting on to be delivered right now because they kept saying my address was wrong. Something I bought for my son out of New York. And because of the internet, because of these cell phones, we're able to shop anywhere in the world, y'all. So there is no excuse for not spending money and being deliberate about where we put our bread. But I can tell you, it's a whole bunch of Black restaurants I've still never visited in this town. Places I have not gone. And I'm like, I do an okay job. I don't do a great job. I do an okay job of spending money with Black folks. In 2026, I want to do a better job, because when you are looking at the things that are happening to us, we're going to need to be financially armed to be able to help us. You want to say something, Jack?
Yeah, I was going to say, since you in the spending business and you want to spend more with Blacks, I got my business and you need theme music when you argue with me. So, I would only charge you an hourly fee. But we'll make sure that we got, bells and whistles, horns, xylophones, and a lot of cowbells. And we'll get you straight.
Really?
I had to say that. That's
really?
My business.
That's what you said.
My office hours are 9 to 5.
That's what you selling. Let me go to the phone. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Good morning, Miss Perry. Wow.
Mr. Paris. Hey,
Miss Bryant.
Hey, Christopher, how you doing this morning?
I'm fine. I'm getting better. By the grace and mercy of Allah. But I was listening to you, and you said you don't participate in the Kwanzaa stuff, which I understand because I don't.
No, I didn't say I don't participate. I do. I just don't do it at home.
Yeah, but see, this is what I was wondering. How is it that you put up? How many trees did you put up? Like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8?
Yeah.
Good Lord. Right. But that's a lot. Didn't it take a lot of work? Because I know how I have a relative that is like a psycho about this Christmas stuff.
Right.
So I just stay away from that. So I was just wondering.
Well, you know what? And let me just say, some of it is because you do what you know. So Kwanzaa wasn't practiced in my house. Christmas was. So
you're saying here. That's what I.
Yeah.
I knew
some of it is habit. Yeah, some of it is habit, and the other part of it is, and I'm usually I'm usually, it's not a ton of people around by the time you start doing Kwanzaa. Observations folks have come in, left town, gone home, that kind of thing. But it's just something that
it's a learning process. Yeah. I think that because it's recent. And our people are so Eurocentric minded about things that anything that Caucasoid approves of, we just run with it. So I was just wondering, like, in comparison, I think there's 7 candles on the candelabra. I think that's what it's called. The thing for Kwanzaa. That word.
Yep.
And but just think about it now, because I think it takes more energy to decorate a tree and all that other stuff. Go get the tree from the store or from the woods or wherever, and then you gotta put water. You gotta do a lot of stuff. But if you just gotta go over some principles and light a candle and then talk about it, like, collectively as a group.
No, I disagree. It definitely, it definitely takes more work to do Kwanzaa. And the reason why I say that, so this year I didn't do a real tree. I wanted to, but I didn't do a real tree. So all them trees is already, even though I had to restock. And thank you, Christopher. Can
I tell you what the tree represents for Christmas? I'm so glad it's over. This is the worst time of the year for me, because I really see all of the charlatan. They come out in full force.
Okay, so go ahead.
The tree represents. The purpose of that tree is.
Wait, we're talking about the Christmas tree now, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. The purpose of that conifer tree that was used, or the symbolism of it, represents a burial place for a man named Nimrod, who was a king in England, or he was a Caucasian king somewhere in Europe. And he had relations with his own mother. And then he did some other devious and demonic things. So they planted a tree where he was buried. And every December 25th, they would come there, these people, and put gifts or something like that in recognition or in a ritualistic way to celebrate his life. He came 300 years after Moses had civilized the civilization. He came and broke the civilization and actually sent Europe into the dark ages when that began. So I'm after obtaining that information and looking at the conifer tree. The conifer tree is not a deciduous tree. It keeps the same, color throughout the year. And I just look at our people and I just stand back and just be like, wow, we still got a long way to go for clarification with regard to who our identity. And the white man is the greatest identity thief that the planet has ever known. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, bro. Look, I'm going to get this other caller and then I'm going to circle back and respond to Christopher's comments. Let me get the other caller. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Good morning, Michelle.
Hey, Angela. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing all right, and yourself?
Good.
I'm just calling in to say good morning to everyone. Good morning,
wonderful. That's cool.
Debo. Good morning, Jermaine.
Good morning, Angela.
Debo's not in the studio, but yep,
okay.
He hears you.
Okay. How you doing right now?
I'm doing pretty good. I had a great Christmas. How about yourself, Angela?
I'm doing fine. I had a wonderful Christmas also. I'm thanking the Lord that He woke me up this morning and that morning also.
I know that's right.
So everything's fine. You guys have a great day.
All right, Angela, you too now. All right. So let me go back and for a second grab some of Christopher's comments. Number one, you do what you know. Christmas was always celebrated in my household. I celebrated, and I don't necessarily celebrate it for, when people talk about the birth of Christ. I don't do it necessarily for that. I do it because I like what it has come to represent in our household, which is family coming together, which is taking time to acknowledge people that you care about and do something special for them above and beyond what you do all year round. Fellowship, a lot of laughter, a break, because I'm running, constantly throughout the year. So Christmas and the way I celebrate and think about it does not necessarily mean what traditionally people view a Christmas celebration as. That's number one. But make no mistake, when you talk about Kwanzaa is more than just lighting 7 candles. Kwanzaa is more than just reading what Karanga talked about in terms of self-help. There are actions that go with Kwanzaa. There are things that you are requested to do. When you talk about building collective work and responsibility, build and maintain the community together and make our brothers and sisters' problems our problems and help solve them together. That's work. That's work. Taking time to check in on other folks and figure out how can I help keep the Wisconsin Black Historical Society doors open, or how can I help, make something else happen, or how do I deal with what's going on in our community? That's work. When you talk about the creativity on December 31st, do as much as we can in the way we can in order to leave our community more beautiful and beneficial than we inherited. That's cleaning up neighborhoods. That's dealing with environmental, junk in our communities that make it not conducive to just, like the kind of life we want to lead. Every one of those principles require that you do something. It requires effort. It's not Christmas don't require nothing from me. I can put a tree up in my sleep. And if you was like my mama, she would throw a sheet over her tree and put it down in the basement. And then have somebody bring it back up and plug it back in, take the sheet off. So there was nothing for my mama to do because my mama wasn't decorating nothing as she got older. I would fly in or drive in to set up my mama's house for the holidays because she wouldn't do it. She's like, I ain't doing all that work. That's a lot of work. And then she was like, you know what? I really don't want you to have to fly all the way in to do that. She told my cousin, throw a sheet over that tree and unplug it and put it down in the basement. And then they just put it right. And my mama cracked me up doing that. Cooking, you doing that already. Family, you doing stuff already. But Kwanzaa is a living, physical, practicing thing that you need to do. And you need to do it year round, quite frankly. But no, it's not easier to celebrate Christmas than it is to celebrate Kwanzaa. It's not. It's worth it to celebrate Kwanzaa, but it requires real work. Let me go to the phone line. Hey, caller, what's happening? Hello? Caller?
Yes, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. I was listening to our brother Christopher, and he's pretty sharp most of the time. This morning, he kind of made a mistake and dropped the ball. He talked about Nimrod being the one that bought in the tree deal. They celebrate Nimrod for the tree deal after Moses. Well, Nimrod was well before Moses' time. Matter of fact, that's where you get your Tower of Babel, where the different languages were spewed out and spread out across this planet. So, that was a mistake on his behalf. Nimrod has been around way before Moses. And then when you come down to the tree in Jeremiah, it talks about how the workmen go out into the woods and cut down a tree and bring it into the house and decorate the tree with silver and gold. You'll see they're not talking about a regular Christmas tree. If you read that, a workman goes out, he cuts down a tree, come back and carve it into the image, okay? The image that he wants, a golden calf or a duck, whatever he want to do. And people bring their gold and silver and they melt it and they decorate and they make the image of God. That's what that means. That didn't mean bringing some bells on, putting it on the tree, lights and lighting it up. And this is where we went with that because we didn't read the whole scripture in Jeremiah. What we read was what we wanted to, and then we ran with it and we gave away the doctrine that, a lot of people didn't have good reading comprehension, or they just developed their own what we call revelation. Okay, and some of the revelation is bad. Then you were talking earlier this morning. The brother called in with some vital information about a young lady that was multi-millionaire. Listen, that's good stuff. However, we are constantly complaining every day that they trying to steal our history. They hiding our history. It's already been hidden. It's already been stolen. Just look at read the book of Stolen Legacies back in the 70s. The book, the edition came out in the 60s. So what I want you to understand is that they trying to steal they trying to hide our history. Negro, your history been gone forever. Like I told Keith last week, we talked about give us the 1 mule and the 40 acres. Fine, we want that if we can get in there and work it right. But a mule is not a reproductive animal. Okay, he cannot reproduce. So they give you a 6 mule, a mule down. You got 40 acres, and you got bushes and weeds growing up, maybe some things growing up, and you get some accident. I don't know. But I do know this here. That was a one and done deal with the mule thing. Why didn't he give us a horse? Why didn't he give us a jackass when we can breed with a horse to make a mule? Okay, this kind of stuff. Anyway, I just had to bring that up this morning. Anytime I hear some kind of flaw, I'm sort of like you. The door is open. I'm finna come in.
All right. Thank you, bro. I appreciate the call. One of the things I will say is that there are many stories in relationship to how Christmas trees become a part of culture and celebrations, and different groups bring trees in through different ways and mechanisms. So while you may be relying on whatever the biblical Christian aspect of that is, there say it in.
Which has nothing to do with Christmas.
Talk up. I mean, you sit right here. Hello, good morning, Keith Ferris. How are you this morning?
I'm trying not to use the N word during Kwanzaa.
Yeah. And we appreciate
I'm trying
that.
to be righteous.
We appreciate
during
it.
Kwanzaa.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
January 2nd.
Yeah.
But
Go back to your own self. But
man, it wasn't the mule, it was the land.
it was.
Don't lose sight of that.
Well, tell people what you mean by that, Keith.
I mean that it was the land. So when he did 40 acres in the mule was to help you work the land because there was farmland. It wasn't the mule.
So it wasn't about reproduction of
No.
animals and
Reproducing so you could eat, so you could reproduce. Yeah, come on, man, really? But see, we focus on the Cadillac.
It sounds like it's a sermon in there. Wait,
I didn't come.
finish it. We focus.
I didn't come to preach.
Look, well, you know what? But say something.
Here's the point.
You
can drive through some of our communities, and you'll see more car than house. And the people have a car but don't own the house. We talk about why the black dollar doesn't circulate, only circulates 8 hours, primarily because of home ownership. Here's the other piece of it. Even if it's black people, they don't live in the neighborhoods that their businesses are in. So their taxes are being paid. They're probably patronizing someplace else. But one of the primary reasons is real estate. It's always about land.
It makes sense.
And so if I'm there, there's more money that's left in that community because there's equity in that house, and that equity in that house gives equity to the community.
Well, you might have said it wasn't a sermon, but it was close. He walked right. He walked right.
It's offering time.
Collection.
Should be talking about a mule.
Collection. And that's why I tell people, and I was doing this real quick. I'm in a lot of things. Okay. I'll just say I'm in.
Gave us the damn mule.
All
the land that was stolen from black people during Reconstruction.
Okay.
No, really, all the land that was stolen from black people during Reconstruction. That young lady is a prime example. People trying to take land, the wealth that comes with the land. Was she in Oklahoma?
Yes.
Which is interesting because have you seen, what is it, Blood on the Moon? And it's about how when the indigenous people started getting oil revenues and how these white men were coming in, marrying the indigenous women and then killing them so they could get the land. Yeah. It's about the land, y'all.
And that's why I said they did with the children. They were killing Native American indigenous children so that they could get their hands on this land.
Right.
That's true.
But I just, so clearly we know what else may be going on in your show. But, it's one of those things that I just said, though, when Meech called in, even when Christopher called in, trying to get people to understand everybody does not operate from the same framework. And the reason why I brought that up, I'm in a number of things. And I go to, and I'm in committee meetings and this group and this group. And without fail, all of the black groups, they open up their business meetings with prayer. And I frequently sit there and I'm respectful, but I don't pray. I'm not, it's not about being a heathen, but it's because this is a business meeting. This is not church. This is because we make the assumption that everybody is Christian that's in this meeting, but that everybody is of the same faith and belief that's at this table, that's a part of this call, that's a part of this group. We are therefore not respecting other people's rights to what they do with their own religion.
But okay, so I'm just asking because I don't know.
And black people love to do it. But you sit in white meetings, you'll never have prayer for the most part at the beginning of a white
here's
committee business meeting.
And then
but black people do it all the time.
After the prayer, the meeting is still jacked up.
Yeah, you still, all kind of shots being thrown.
Right, so
and, but that's just the one thing. And a lot of black people and different things that I work with, people get irritated with me, but I tell them all the time, this is a business meeting. And yes, it's great to have faith, but you pushing your faith on everybody in the room, and you making assumptions about everybody else in the room that they believe the way that you do. So when it comes to these Christmas trees, when it comes to practice, everybody that heard Karanga talk about Kwanzaa that was black didn't buy in.
Well, I was going to talk about
it. Yeah, everybody didn't buy in.
But here's the other piece. When you go down to the courthouse now, you'll see a menorah.
Yep.
I think they do a canara.
Yeah.
They got a Christmas tree. Okay. And then there's a sign there from atheists.
I just try to tell people all the time, just think about that. And people think, I bring my faith with me everywhere I go. You don't bring it to the white meetings when you be in the white meetings. You don't never stop the white folks and say, are we going to open with prayer? You don't do that.
So
and so I'm just telling people, like, these are the things we have to think about when we come into environments that everybody doesn't do what we do.
So that's almost like, being in school and they trying to make you
say
the one nation under God and individuals. What's that?
Well, that's the Pledge of Allegiance.
So, and if you don't believe in the flag,
because there are some people that don't believe in taking pledges and oaths
to the flag,
to those kinds of things.
Okay.
Like it's disrespectful to God in some way. I just tell people all the time, you have to run business like business.
Yep.
And we don't do that. All black folks want to come in and start praying and carrying on. And I'm like, y'all, this is not, and God give us the strength and the right of mind to run the meeting. And I'm like, that does not belong in a meeting.
But
yeah, it's hard for people to hear. I know.
No, see, because in a way, I mean, I see both sides, because that's just like me just bringing up the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yeah,
I don't believe in making the pledge to the flag. So for somebody to make me say it and I don't believe
I have a problem with flags in churches. In the sanctuary. I mean, it seems like a small thing.
Yeah,
that's interesting. I hadn't really thought about that.
Yeah, but I definitely
and what
have
that
problems
means,
with
what that symbolizes.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things that I'm just asking people, we got to get out of here, but that we are much more deliberate in the things that we say and we do and we practice, and that we are honest when it's something that we haven't fully bought in, but pressure makes us think, I got to do it because everybody else doing it. Everybody don't have to practice Kwanzaa because everybody may not. Karanga made that up. He literally made it up.
I'm going to make me up.
I respect it. I like what he was doing. I was willing to ride with him. But what'd you say?
They made up Christmas.
Yeah, so we gotta go, Jermaine.
Wait. So what about Fiesta? So what did George on Seinfeld make up for the holiday?
Festivus.
I miss Festivus because it's usually in December.
That's right.
Big Festivus thing down there. One of my favorite holidays is Festivus.
Completely made up. All right, y'all. That's the show for today. I don't know if this weather is going to get any worse. They act like it was going to be Armageddon out here.
Well, no, that's just only for Sheboygan and Fond du Lac. That is Armageddon. But us, whatever, we kind of got the light.
That is Armageddon.
Yeah, Armageddon.
Armageddon.
Yeah, Armageddon.
Like my grandmother.
Well, that's
spaghetti. She said spaghetti.
Look, I appreciate everybody that made the show go. Everybody that called in. Bruhs in the studio. Clark, what you playing? All right, family. Debo.
Somewhere doing
whatever your name is. Bye.